Navigating the U.S. immigration system can feel like a maze, and one of the most stressful things that can happen is receiving a request for evidence, or RFE, from USCIS. But what exactly is an RFE, and why do they send them out? Don't panic. Today, we're going to break it all down. Understanding the why is the first step to responding effectively and getting your case back on track. First, let's be clear. Receiving an RFE is not a denial. It is simply USCIS telling you they need more information before they can make a decision on your application or petition. Think of it as a pause, not a stop sign. It's a chance for you to strengthen your case. So, take a deep breath. This is manageable. One of the most common reasons for an RFE is missing initial evidence. Every immigration form, whether it's for a green card, a work visa, or citizenship, has a specific list of required documents. This could be anything from birth certificates and marriage certificates to financial documents and passports. If you forget to include something from that initial checklist, or if a document you sent isn't in the right format, you'll likely get an RFE. For example, if you submit a copy of a birth certificate but the instructions required the official long-form version, USCIS will send an RFE asking for the correct one. It's really that simple sometimes. Another common pitfall is failing to translate documents. USCIS requires that any document not in English must be accompanied by a certified English translation. This isn't just a suggestion, it's a strict rule. If you submit a foreign language document without a proper translation, USCIS can't verify the information. The translation must be certified by a translator who attests to its accuracy and their competence to translate. Forgetting this step is a guaranteed way to receive an RFE. Let's move on to a slightly more complex area, eligibility. Sometimes the evidence you submitted doesn't fully prove that you meet the specific legal requirements for the benefit you're seeking. This is very common in employment-based petitions. For example, if you're applying for an H-1B visa for a specialty occupation, you need to prove the job requires a bachelor's degree or its equivalent in a specific field. If your submitted evidence like the job description or your educational documents is vague or doesn't clearly establish this link, USCIS will issue an RFE. They ask for more detailed information to demonstrate how your qualifications and the job duties align with the legal definition of a specialty occupation. Similarly, in family-based cases, especially marriage-based green card applications, USCIS is always on the lookout for a bona fide or genuine relationship. If you don't provide enough evidence to prove you didn't marry just for immigration benefits, you'll get an RFE. What kind of evidence are they looking for? Things that show you've combined your lives? This includes joint bank account statements, joint leases, or property deeds, photos of you together over time with family and friends, and affidavits from people who know you as a couple. If you only submit your marriage certificate and a few photos, the officer might not be convinced. They'll send an RFE asking for more substantial proof of your shared life. Financial sponsorship is another major trigger for RFE. Most family-based immigration petitions require a sponsor to file an affidavit of support. Form I-A-64. This is a legally binding contract promising to financially support the intending immigrant. To be a successful sponsor, you must meet a certain income requirement, which is 125% of the federal poverty guideline for your household size. If your tax returns or pay stubs don't clearly show that you meet this income level, USCIS will issue an RFE. They might ask for more recent financial documents, evidence of assets that can be used to supplement your income, or for you to find a joint sponsor who does meet the requirements. It's all about proving that the immigrant won't become a public charge. Sometimes, the issue isn't what you sent, but how you sent it. Inconsistent information across your application can raise red flags. For instance, if your name is spelled differently on your passport versus your birth certificate, or if dates on different forms don't line up, it creates confusion. USCIS needs to be certain of your identity and the facts of your case. An RFE in this situation would ask for clarification or corrected documents to resolve the discrepancy. This is why it's so important to double-check, even triple-check, every single form for consistency before you mail it. Changes in circumstances can also lead to an RFE. Let's say you applied for a green card based on marriage, but during the long processing time, you and your spouse moved to a new address. If you didn't update your address with USCIS properly, they might send mail to your old address. which gets returned. This could trigger an RFE for your current address and proof of residence. Or, if you're on an employment-based petition and you change jobs, this is a material change that USCIS needs to know about. An RFE might be issued to get updated information about your new employer and position to ensure you still qualify. Finally, there's the catch-all category, the officer's discretion. At the end of the day, an individual USCIS officer is reviewing your case. If they have any lingering questions, or if something just doesn't feel right to them, they have the authority to issue an RFE to get the clarification they need to feel confident in their decision. It might feel subjective, but their job is to apply the law to the facts you've provided. If the facts are unclear, they have a duty to ask for more. So, what should you do if you receive an RFE? First, read it carefully. The RFE letter will specify exactly what information or documents are needed. It will also give you a deadline, typically between 30 and 87 days. This deadline is firm. You must submit all the requested evidence at one time. You don't get a second chance to respond. Gather everything they've asked for, organize it clearly, and include the original RFE notice on top of your response packet. It's often a good idea to consult with an experienced immigration attorney at this stage, as they can help you craft a strong, complete response that addresses all of the officer's concerns. Remember, an RFE is a normal part of the immigration process. It's an opportunity, not a rejection. By understanding why they are issued, you can be better prepared to either avoid one in the first place or respond to one effectively. Be thorough, be honest, and provide the evidence requested. I hope this overview helps demystify the RFE process for you. It can be a daunting experience, but knowledge is power. If you found this information helpful, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more content on navigating the U.S. immigration system. If you have questions, drop them in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.